With Holy Nerd Alliance, we are trying to build a positive community that's safe for you to listen to at work and in front of your kids and family. We understand that there are a lot of different podcasts you can listen to or videos you can watch, so it means a lot that you choose us. We ask that you join us as we build this passion project because we have a lot of ideas for the future. We want to make those ideas happen, but we have to start small. So please join us every week for our podcast and give us your feedback. Thank you and enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to the Holy Nerd Alliance podcast, the podcast that brings you the latest and greatest news in the world of video games. Episode 2, my name is Jeremy, and joining me are the rest of your normal hosts, Tyler, Matt, and Aaron. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good to be here.
Good. I'm kind of really not liking this microphone situation, but...
Yeah, Matt forgot a cable, and he has to basically hug the edge of the table with some kind of device.
For any of the sound techie people out here who know anything about podcasting, basically I'm using a Zoom H6 or whatever they're called. I don't remember. Either way, it has the microphone attachment on the front, and I'm hugging that microphone attachment, and it sucks. I wish I had my normal mic.
Well, next time, don't forget the cable.
Yeah.
Let's just jump into the news. We got 5 news items here. So let's start with number 1. Sony boss dismisses Fortnite crossplay. This story comes from Tom Warren at The Verge. Sony has been blocking crossplay and progression between Fortnite on PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch and Xbox One. While there are some signs the company was listening to the feedback to its controversial decision, Sony CEO Kenichiro Yoshida has made the company's stance clear. In an interview with the Press Association via The Independent at IFA last week, Yoshida claims the PlayStation 4 is the best experience to play Fortnite. Quote, "On cross-platform, our way of thinking is always that PlayStation is the best place to play Fortnite." Everyone's shaking their head. "I believe partnered with the PlayStation 4 is the best experience for users. That's our belief. But actually, we already opened some games as cross-platform with PC and some others, so we decide based on what is the best user experience. That is our way of thinking for cross-platform," unquote. Fortnite fans using a Nintendo Switch have made their feelings clear over Sony's stance, and it's particularly frustrating as it blocks the sync of items and progression between the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. That means Fortnite players have to create an entirely new account on a Switch if they played on the PS4 before. Sony has previously blocked crossplay between PS4 and Xbox One for Fortnite, Rocket League, and Minecraft, despite Nintendo and Microsoft supporting it. Microsoft and Nintendo teamed up to promote crossplay in Minecraft in an unusual move, a commercial that they did together. Despite that, Yoshida says competition with Xbox and Nintendo is a healthy situation for Sony and the entire industry. While Yoshida doesn't manage the PlayStation directly, he's still the overall head of Sony and should be familiar with the company's plans. Yoshida's response makes it clear that Sony has no intention of enabling Fortnite crossplay, as the company feels it is the best user experience for the game. That doesn't mean Sony won't enable crossplay for future games, but if you're still hoping to play with your Fortnite PS4 account on a Switch or Xbox One, then it's probably never going to happen. So...
Just as we were talking about this, I could see the tension rising in the room.
Everyone's very mad about this. Not just in the room, but everyone on the planet Earth. It's a tone-deaf move by Sony not to... It's a move that happens when you're on top, but when you're not on top, you're a lot more willing to make these moves. Like we talked about Microsoft. They're making all the right consumer-friendly moves lately. Due to their poor launch and being number 2 this generation. So, but your guys' thoughts?
I
think it's insane.
Yeah, I agree. I get maybe in the beginning, Sony not wanting to support Nintendo because then, with Fortnite being a fresh game on a fresh system, not knowing who's going to come and how many people are going to play, and just seeing how it would go. But knowing that Fortnite is now a huge success on both,
It's the number one game in the world.
Yeah, I mean across all platforms.
Yeah, I could pull it up my iPad right now. You could play it on a Switch, and Tyler could go in the other room and play Xbox, and we could all play together.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But we couldn't turn on a PlayStation so Matt could play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love Sony. I mean, I like Sony. Sony's, I think they're a great company. They do great games. But I think to make a statement that we're the best system to play Fortnite on, when it's obviously been proven that it's compatible with any format. Like Jeremy just stated, it's been on every smartphone, iOS, Android. It's been on it's on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation. I mean, it's everywhere. PC, you can play it anywhere, and it's been a huge success. And so I think Sony saying their platform is the best platform, I think, is just a cop-out.
Yeah.
They just don't want, like Jeremy said, they're on top, and they don't want to humble themselves, and
They don't want to play nice with others.
they don't.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next generation when maybe Sony might not be on top anymore.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
Well, one of my thoughts are, and maybe this is just ignorance on my part, being the new gamer, but with Twitch, Fortnite's one of the biggest games on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
But can you play that on PlayStation or on stream to Twitch?
yeah,
From your...
yeah.
Can you?
The
Okay.
new consoles, PlayStation and Xbox, allowed you to stream to Twitch.
Well, that's cool. Okay.
Just natively. So, which
But-
is really cool.
Yeah, even then, if you're I'm just thinking, I have a friend who basically plays Fortnite from his PC, streams on Twitch, and that's basically his job right now.
That's
He's not making any money yet, but he's just getting started. He just got started in the last couple months, but he plays from his PC, and I just don't understand how if you're playing on the PlayStation, what is your motivation to be a Twitch gamer either, a streamer on Twitch?
well, there's still you got to think there's 80+ million PlayStation 4s sold already. So it's not like you're just not having enough people to play with, and also being on Twitch, that doesn't necessarily mean you can't play with others.
Right. I'm just saying you can't interact with the
can't.
people who play on PC or
You
Switch,
can't play with other people on other platforms.
Right. So
but
if you're
you can
trying
still,
to build a team that you play with
Yeah.
on Twitch,
Right.
it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right.
to me.
Well, that's what a lot of people play online multiplayer games, because they
Right.
want to play with their friends. And if I own a Switch and Jeremy owns a PS4 now, because PS4 is for some reason hates all other things. And
It'd be one thing if they didn't want you to play at this together at the same time, but they also don't let you do cross progression. So you can't link your account, so I can't play on a Switch and level up on Switch, and then I can't take that progress to PS4 either. So
Yeah.
that's
so
double whammy.
yeah, they're cutting out all of it, all of the cross-platform thing. So yeah, so it just, I think it's a big deterrent for a lot of people not to play Fortnite in that format, because if I was Jeremy and I had a friend out, some people won't play these games unless they can play with friends. They get squads, they get teams together, and if Jeremy can't play with his friends, then it's going to turn him away from Fortnite, and he's just, therefore you lose. Then you're losing player base.
Right.
So I think Sony's just hurting themselves in a way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right. Well, I guess that's kind of my point, though, is so my friend who streams, if he was playing on the PlayStation, he couldn't have the team that he has.
Right.
Yeah,
And so he would lose all of the personalities that he uses to grow his audience on Twitch.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because he needs those people. They all have a
Yes.
purpose for entertainment value.
Right.
And he would lose all of them just by
Yeah.
being a PlayStation.
Another tone-deaf move by Sony.
Great job.
Number 2, Anthem Story DLC will be free. This comes from Matt Davidson over at IGN. BioWare has confirmed that although its upcoming multiplayer action RPG Anthem will feature post-launch story content, all of these releases will be free of charge. This news comes courtesy of Game Rant, which reports that BioWare made the announcement during its PAX West panel. BioWare hasn't given any further details about what Anthem's post-launch content will look like, but given that the announcement has specifically mentioned that there will be no charge for story content. It's likely that there will be some sort of paid DLC on the horizon, probably like skins and stuff like that. So, BioWare has previously insisted that the game won't feature loot boxes and won't give players the ability to pay for power, but that doesn't rule out cosmetic enhancements of some sort dropping as part of a paid DLC package. Previous publicity for the game has heavily featured BioWare's concept of our world, my story, intended to be indicative of the fact that the game reflects BioWare's rich history of storytelling, while also embracing the game's multiplayer functionality. Game director John Warner has previously said the studio doesn't want gamers to feel any regret over the time or money they invest in the game. For players who can't wait to get their hands on Anthem, pre-orders or membership of EA Access or Origin Access schemes will allow access to a full demo beginning on February 1st, which, with a number of as yet unannounced alphas and betas before that date, Anthem launches February 22nd for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. So there's a little bit to unpack there. Basically, Anthem story DLC free after, you see like Destiny. We'll get into the next story as well, but like games like Destiny, they charge obviously for their DLC packs, hefty prices. Like I think the new one is like $40. It's insane. That's like a whole new game, pretty much. Like, and you'll probably get like one new section. And we were talking earlier, like Nintendo, they've been doing their DLC, right? Like the Xenoblade 2 one that comes out in a couple weeks, $30, but you get like a whole new campaign that's like 30 plus hours, which is not at all what Destiny and Activision have been doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. The Anthem, the game already looks beautiful.
Oh, absolutely.
Anything I've watched on this is just, it looks amazing.
Get to be Iron Man, pretty much.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I love the way they're going with the free DLC. Obviously, no details what that is yet, but just to know that it's not a pay-to-play type of system where, the people with the more money get more power, like mobile games with the microtransactions, So I think that's kind of cool. And also giving people the option to customize is cool as well. But I think the way they're going with the free DLC is a great direction. And, it just makes the game even more exciting.
Yeah, I think they specifically say pay for power. They've obviously learned, EA has learned from their Battlefront 2 situation from last year, which that really hurt the game. Like, it sold pretty bad. Like, it was on sale almost immediately.
Right.
So, it's pretty crazy. Next story, number 3, also Anthem, another Anthem story. Anthem will be a complete game. This comes from Nick Santangelo from IGN. Strap in, guys, this is a long one. With Anthem, BioWare is keen to avoid the problem many games have run into as of late, with the perception that at launch, releases may be incomplete. Speaking to US Gamer during PAX West, executive producer Mark Dara said he feels consumers will be getting a good, valuable game when Anthem launches. And while more content will naturally be added post-launch, Dara promises there will be plenty to keep players going for the long haul right out of the gate. Quote, "You should be able to play for months and months, even if we aren't then layering a live service on top of it," end quote, said Dara of BioWare's launch day goals for Anthem. So I think it's an excellent value right off the start. 4 exosuits, a complete story. So both I think it's a complete package, but it's also the starting line of an experience as well. Unquote. Without naming any specific competitors, Dara said that before 2017, the industry was seeing many, quote, live game service, end quote, games released in incomplete states. Their developers would then rely on a strategy of slowly building their games up with beefier content over time in order to grow their fan base, according to Dara. But I think that approach no longer seems to be cutting it. Quote, "I think in the last year you've seen a couple of games launched that were in the same kind of space that you would have thought, okay, this should be fine, but then it didn't work out," he said. "People came in and they went, there's not enough here, and they left. So I think it's partially because of the competition and the space has gotten harder and people are less willing to just kind of hang out and hope that stuff is going to come along. There are other things for them to do. So I think for me, a big lesson has been that it's that you need to have enough on the first day so that there's a reason to stay. And when more is coming, then that's great. That's amazing. But I'm just not going to hang out and wait for the game to become complete. It has to be complete from day one. Not only is BioWare planning to deliver a complete game right at launch, but lead producer Mike Gamble said that the wait for additional content will be shorter than it was for the previous game from the studio. Quote, "We don't have to wait for full expansions anymore like our previous game, let alone other games in the live service space." Gamble said in the same interview, "If you look at our Dragon Age or Mass Effect, you'd have to wait 3 or 4, 5, 6 months before big updates. We don't have to abide by that anymore. We can actually week over week trickle out content." So we talked about this. I think Anthem is going to be what Destiny was supposed to be. Destiny had a lot of development issues. Like a year before the game came out, they had to scrap most of their story content. You guys can look this up on. I think Kotaku did like a whole big blowout on this, but Destiny was supposed to be this big game, big story game, and it just wasn't what it was supposed to be when it came out. And even Destiny 2 was supposed to fix all the problems that Destiny 1 had. Came out, so it had different problems than the first one, but still just as many problems.
Yeah, I agree. Destiny. I remember when Destiny first came out, I was like super excited. It was like a mix of like an MMO meets a shooter. It was kind of like World of Warcraft in the future. So I was pretty stoked for it. And I mean, for the most part, it was good. But as you continue playing, you realize it's not exactly what they said it was going to be. There's a lot of stuff missing.
Yep.
I mean, you get through, if you played the game and sat down and really played at it, you could really get to the end game content pretty kind of extremely fast. And once you get there, again, it was a waiting game.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Destiny first released, I remember like I put so many hours into it at first, and then I was kind of just like, well, now what? And then it sat on my shelf for a really long time, and then they released the Taken King, and I'm like, oh yeah, now's the time to go back. And we splurged however much it was, I think.
Insane.
Yeah,
Probably.
a lot of money. I think it was like 50 or something. But
Ridiculous.
and then it was same thing happened. I finished it, and it's just like that was quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited about Anthem. I'm hoping maybe we can do some stuff with it. Maybe Aaron will have a PlayStation, but then he's talking.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I've been thinking a lot about it. Lately, I've been.
February is right around tax return time.
I know, that's what I was just thinking the same thing. I was at work the other night. I was listening to some stuff, and I'm like, just might happen.
Are you getting ready to break your bond, Nintendo?
Oh, I will never break my bond to Nintendo. I'm faithful 100% to Nintendo, but doesn't mean I can't share my time. It's like having a kid. Got to, have some time with my wife. Got to have some time with my kid too. I mean, the Nintendo's gonna be my wife.
I was gonna say that the PlayStation was your mistress, but
hey, no, and the wife always comes first, so the kid comes second. So Nintendo's always gonna have that place right there, always in my heart.
Does your wife listen to this?
She hasn't yet, but
so
my wife knows I love her. I think.
Or it's gonna be Nintendo, wife, then PlayStation.
Well, no, no, my wife, my real wife, comes first. This got weird.
Moving on. Number 4, Nintendo Direct delayed. This comes from Allegra Frank over at Polygon. A Nintendo Direct scheduled for September 6th has been postponed. The company announced out of respect for the victims of landslides that rocked northern Japan last night, at the time of this written article last night, due to the powerful earthquake in Hokkaido. Right? Yep. That sounds right?
Yep.
I think so.
Japan, we have decided to delay this week's planned Nintendo Direct, the company said in a press release. We will provide a new time and date in the near future. Thank you for your understanding. The September Nintendo Direct was originally scheduled for 6 p.m. Eastern on September 6th. It it was supposed to cover upcoming Nintendo Switch and 3DS titles whenever it does air, and will also be Nintendo's first presentation about multiple games since E3 2018. Meanwhile, northern Japan continues to reel following numerous power outages, injuries, and more as the result of the earthquake. At least 7 people were killed with a magnitude 6.7 quake struck with the northern island of Hokkaido early Thursday, causing landslides, which buried a large number of homes at the foot of the ridge, CNN reports. An impact that the outlet says also resulted in nearly 200 injuries and millions of power outages thus far. The earthquake follows Typhoon Jebi, a powerful storm that hit the Japanese mainland on September 5th. So, obviously, terrible situation for the people of Japan. Several deaths, many more injured, power outages. Nintendo's a Japanese company, so that they're going to want to be respectful to them. The Japanese people are very proud people, so definitely want to.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool thing. Definitely a big respectful thing. I mean, gotta respect Nintendo for the decision they made. I mean, they could have gone on and released this, and to the American people, knowing that they're watching in anticipation. But like Jeremy said, they respect their people. So I think this is cool on Nintendo's part to delay and just help the people of Japan.
Yeah, and you later you'll notice. I think they kind of took a hit with this because of a lot of third party. It seemed like they had some third party announcements planned for their direct, but it seems like they had to go ahead and announce those third party games, those companies that own those games. You'll see in the new release dates and stuff. But so they obviously took a hit for this, but that's just how it has to go sometimes.
It really shocks me that they would take a hit at all. I mean, like it's just such a respectful thing to do.
Yeah,
I don't understand why people would hate, but then again, I guess
I don't. When I say take a hit, like these companies, they have to announce their games because they have responsibilities to their shareholders. And if they were planning to announce these games, then through the Nintendo Direct, then they obviously it was delayed, so they might not have been able to wait. So, I mean, obviously you got people online that were saying mean things about.
Yeah, well, that's what I was referring to.
That's always going to happen.
Because I saw some of those comments.
Yeah, they're horrible. Like video games are fun, but they're fun. They're not your life.
Yeah,
so, they shouldn't
most.
be anyways. Okay. Last story. THQ Nordic acquires Kingdoms of Amalur IP. This comes from Robert Purchase over at Eurogamer. Talk about mopping up. THQ Nordic has bought the Kingdoms of Amalur IP as well as the unreleased Copernicus MMO. never heard of that. The rights were bought from 38 Studios, the company belonging to former baseball star Kurt Schilling, who was, along with his company, embroiled in a long and arduous court battle after he defaulted on a loan from the Rhode Island state. What a state indeed. It's not clear how much THQ Nordic paid, nor what it plans to do with the license. Will it finish the work done on the Copernicus MMO and release it? What a weird name, guys. But it's an eye-opening purchase nonetheless. THQ Nordic has been prolific in acquiring cut-loose IPs and trademarks. THQ isn't its given name for a start. The company was once Nordic Games. It bought that after the collapse of THQ, just as it bought so much else: Dead Island, Saints Row, Time Splitters, Homefront, Metro 2033, the list goes on and on. Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning was released in 2012, made by Big Huge Games and 38 Studios, and published under EA's Partners label. It was pretty good, bright, attractive, slick, and showy and satisfying combat in a confident fantasy world, but it traded hard on a Warcraft vibe, as did Copernicus, the MMO, and Amalur really needed to be more inventive in its own right. So I've never played this game. I don't know if anyone's here to play this game, but it's got really great marks from everyone who's played it, and like it talks about here, the IP was wrapped up in a core battle with the developers of the game. It's really weird situation that you can read more about, but yeah, everyone who's played this game that I've talked to says it's really great. So hopefully THQ Nordic can maybe put it on backwards compatibility on Xbox One, or even re-release it for the new systems, and maybe make a sequel. THQ Nordic, they keep buying these old IPs. Like a couple weeks ago, they bought Time Splitters, which is
Yeah, that's like old. Like,
So-
Wow.
it is. But
so,
they're another one of those. THQ is another one of those companies been around. I mean, THQ games. I remember playing. I mean, they may go back further, but I remember playing THQ games on Nintendo 64. And I can honestly name the titles. I just know that THQ was the company that produced it, but it's just they kind of sneak under the radar. They're not like one of your popular known companies.
yeah, Nordic, who bought the THQ name when THQ went under, which is I don't know why you would want to name yourself after a failed company.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
But I mean, they keep buying all these old IPs, and they're making. I think they have a new IP called Biomutant, where you're like this little cat raccoon.
What?
I think you play. It's like a rocket raccoon kind of thing, but you play and you like have all these cyberkinetic enhancements. It's weird.
That does
But
sound pretty fun, though.
They have. I think it comes out next year, but it's just they're picking up all these games. Obviously people like them.
yeah. I mean,
But-
yeah, which I've never played, but Saints Row. I mean, people.
People love that game.
Yeah.
Same with like the Dead Island.
Yeah,
People love
Right.
that. Homefront, which is like a Call of Duty if North Korea invaded the United States. It's like crazy. But so yeah, that's all the news we got for this week. Moving on down to our new release dates that were announced. Xbox Adaptive Controller is available now for $100, as well as accessories for that. The Xbox Adaptive Controller is it's made for handicapped people who can't hold a normal controller correctly. So they made this controller that you can plug in. I think it's like 20 plus different accessory plugs that you can in. So what if someone can't hold it right, they can put all these huge buttons and control sticks, and they can like tap it, and this would be a lot easier than the regular one. So which is a great move by Microsoft. They've never Sony and Nintendo haven't come up with anything like this. So it's a really great move by them. So. Next one, Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, which is the this is a chibi game for the Android and iPhones. It's a remake of Final Fantasy 15, but they're chibis. So if that interests you, they're available now on Xbox One and PS4, Nintendo Switch coming later this year. So.
I'll be honest, it's kind of tempting.
I don't know about that. It's like,
I really liked Final Fantasy 15, like when it released. And this looks like it could be fun.
Aaron's hate for Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, my Final Fantasy 15 experience. I mean, it was good. Like I said, the good game. I like story-driven games, and I don't think the story drove that game home. It was more about the gameplay, more about the innovative. But also, they're re-releasing this game in chibi version, and I mean, the price tag on it. I mean, I was
I think
like,
it was like $20.
if you pre-order and it's like 20, its original price is $29.99. I'm like,
Yeah,
I played the game once.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for a mobile game. I'm not paying $30 for some little miniature versions of the game that I just played. So
Who wants to take bets on Aaron buying the Nintendo Switch version in a couple months?
I will. I can tell you, I like Nintendo, but not that much.
Next one, Valkyria Chronicles 1, re-released on Nintendo Switch on October 16th, 2018. I don't have anything to say about these games because I've never played them.
Yeah, neither.
I think that they're like Fire Emblem, right? In a
They're
way.
like Fire Emblem.
like the tactics.
Yeah, like a tactics war. But instead of being like your, I don't know, Dynasty, like it's more of a machine, like kind of like artillery type based
Gotcha.
fighting. Which I'm actually kind of excited for this. Valkyria. I mean, we're obviously getting a Valkyria Chronicles 4 on the Switch, which is a new release. But
Weeks.
this is the first time that U.S. has ever seen a Valkyria Chronicles game. Period. 4 was the first one. So,
Is it?
yeah, Japan. is coming back with Valkyria Chronicles 1. I believe that. I'm going to say that statement, but I might be wrong. But I'm pretty sure this is the Valkyria Chronicles 4 was the first U.S. release of a Valkyria Chronicles game. And then I know Valkyria Chronicles 1 was only ever released in Japan. And so I've looked into these. The games are beautiful. They got the whole like the cell shaded design, and it's just they look good, but that doesn't always mean the game's good. So, but I'm holding out hope. But
cool. Next one, Lego Harry Potter collection for the Nintendo Switch and Xbox One on November 2nd, 2018. We were talking about this earlier. It seemed like PlayStation had like a weird licensing deal with this one because it's been out for like 2-3 years on PlayStation, but obviously years 1 through 7. So Lego games is always a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, Lego games are cool, and
Harry Potter is cool.
Yeah, Lego Harry Potter. Yeah, not all the Lego games are fun, but Lego Harry Potter is fun, and I think it'd be cool on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously it's good for the Xbox One users as well, but the Switch would just be one of those games because that you can take with you, portable on the road, take it anywhere you go.
It's like the perfect because you already have 2 controllers.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Perfect system for Lego games.
Absolutely.
Right.
And lastly, Civilization 6. What was that? Civilization 6 for Nintendo Switch. Strange but cool move. November 16th release date. Tyler, you played the Civ games.
Yeah, so the first Civ game I ever played was Revolution on the 360, which was like a really kind of toned down Civ game, but it was cool. And then Jeremy later got Civs 3, 4, and 5 for me.
I don't know,
Like
Christmas.
Yeah, something like that. And
He loves you a lot.
5 is
It was
amazing.
like $20 for the whole thing.
So awesome.
I've thought about buying 6. 5 was really good, and I've seen some good things, but I've also seen some bad things about 6. I feel like it gets a lot of mixed reviews. But I'm looking forward to it. I'll pick it up on the Switch probably. So
We'll expect a full report.
Yep.
On my desk by the end of the day. All right, and notable releases for this week. You got NHL 19 on Xbox One and PS4, if hockey is your thing. And then you also have Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the final of the new Tomb Raider trilogy for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, which is really exciting. I don't know if I'll be able to get that right away, but definitely looking forward to playing it someday. So, have you guys ever played the new Tomb Raider?
I have not.
I've never played any of the Tomb Raider games. So.
What are you doing?
It's something it's kind of been on like in the back of my mind for a long time now, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
I mean, I don't even know. I got nothing. I mean, Tomb Raider was a groundbreaking. I mean, PS1, the original Tomb Raider was like, oh my goodness.
Well, I know they made the original one backwards compatible recently, didn't they?
Yeah,
the
the
Xbox One. So I'll probably play that at some point when I'm done with Spider-Man or something. I don't know.
We'll see.
But
Yeah.
Probably not, though.
That should be
Probably
a
not.
goal. Yeah.
It's like back there. It's like a thing that I need to do someday, but I haven't yet.
All right. What we've been playing, I'll start with the person on my left.
The guy who doesn't have many
You should
games.
start playing mobile games so you have something to talk about.
I've thought about it. I actually have been playing something a little bit this week, though. I pulled the Xbox out of the box that I'm trying to sell, and I've been playing Battlefield 4 because I never actually got around to playing it. So
Playing the campaign.
yeah, which is cool because I've just never got around to playing it before, and
Yeah.
so now I'm actually playing that. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But it's not the Switch, which I almost impulse bought this week.
Just do it.
Yeah, he should have done it.
I should. The problem is I spent $600 on a phone today.
What? What'd you get?
I don't have it, but it's OnePlus 6.
Oh, you ordered it?
I ordered it, so it's not going to be here for a week. It has to ship from China.
What is it? A plus?
OnePlus.
What?
OnePlus.
I don't know what that is.
The company.
Yeah,
You never heard of the company?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Well, look them up.
Is it an Android?
Yeah.
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 You didn't go with Apple?
Woo!
Yeah.
Trail.
Welcome to our side.
Yeah. Well, it's
It's
not.
a great place to be.
It's not by choice.
You spend $600 on an Android. You can't swing an iPhone?
They're 1,000.
For an
For an
X.
Well, I'm not going to buy one if they're not.
No,
not
well, you
buying.
should have just waited because isn't Apple's conference this week?
2 weeks.
You should have waited until then.
Yeah, but they're going to be $1,000 for the new ones too.
Yeah, but you could have got the old one for cheaper.
900.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Tyler, I'm gonna skip you because I know what you were gonna talk about. So, Aaron.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Well, if you listened in last time, my games haven't changed much. I'm still continuing Octopath Traveler. That'll probably be the rest of my life, but we'll see. But still playing on the DS. I am playing the Wizard of Oz Beyond Yellow Brick Road. Almost done with it. Kind of stuck. Game got hard.
I looked that up after the last show, and I'm like, this game has great views on it. Like, it was kind of insane. I was surprised.
It's a great game, except like the difficulty curve just went from like a 0 to like 5,000, and like it's retarded. But I have been playing a mobile game. One I'm excited about, also coming to Switch, but it's Arena of Valor. And if you're into MOBAs, this is probably one of the best.
It's a nerd.
Hey, MOBAs are. I mean, I've played.
It's a whole new level.
Hey, it is a whole new level. But I mean, the biggest MOBA game out there is League of Legends, obviously, which is free to play PC. Just, I mean, everybody knows it's a fun game too. But what's cool about Arena of Valor is it's instead of being huge, it's a smaller. It's 5v5, a smaller map. There's still strategy involved, but less than League of Legends. You can play a League of Legends map and I could take you 2 hours to play one game, but with Arena of Valor, it's 15, 20 minutes and you're done. So if you're in the MOBAs, check it out. It's fun to play, and it's also coming to Switch. Just throw that in there.
You playing on Switch?
I am going to get on Switch. It's free to play.
Yeah,
It's free to download, free to play. It's going to have microtransactions like every other mobile game on the planet, but you can get everything in the game. You don't have to pay it. It's not pay to win. You can get every character, and they have DC characters. You can play as Joker, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash. It's pretty legit.
That is
That is
kind of
pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler, do you have any games besides the main event that
Well,
you were playing?
I've still kind of been playing Kingdom Hearts 2, just casually, not really playing it a ton. I've been, in mobile side, I've been playing Kingdom Hearts Union Cross since yesterday again.
For the Starlight Keeper?
Right, yeah, they released the Classic Kingdom mini games on it, which are going to be like...
They're like Game & Watch games?
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So, and it's like Mickey and Sora theme. But they'll have those in Kingdom Hearts 3, and they released 5 of them on their mobile game. So I've been trying to play those. Get
How
high
is that
scores.
mobile game? Like, I've never played it.
I've gotten pretty far. There's a lot
It's like
of
800 missions in.
I'm like,
Oh my
I'm mission
goodness.
735. There's so much filler in this game where I'm just like, I just want to see the story.
Have you invested
Like,
any
just
finances into it? or-
no, I haven't. I don't even need to anymore. If I take a long enough gap break, like between playing this game, like I'll play for a month at a time and then just stop. And when I come back, I have like 10,000 jewels or something, which is like the in-game currency or whatever.
Yeah.
Just as rewards because they just hand them out now. So yeah.
So you can play this game like it's not like a pay to play like
It doesn't have to be, no.
so you can get everything you need or want with just patience.
Right. So I'm about 735 missions in, and
That's crazy.
it's just a lot of filler. I mean, you got the Disney worlds like in every Kingdom Hearts game, but it's just, I don't know, like there's so much between story cutscenes, and then even then it's a lot of like unnecessary stuff, I guess. But yeah, so
Cool. Let's check it out.
it's cool. It's fun. I enjoy playing it.
Just real quick, some other games I've been playing. Octopath, chipping away. Forever. No end.
I need to buy that at some point
It's
in the
good.
future.
It's a good game if you like long JRPGs.
Yeah.
I started playing, I only got like 2 hours in. Hyper Light Drifter. Really cool. It came out on Nintendo Switch last week.
Yeah, wasn't it the 6th or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
September
so-
6th. So definitely really cool. Would be even cooler if I had it on Switch, but I, don't want to buy it again. But it's a pretty game. A lot of fun. It's like it kind of reminds me of like a Link to the Past. Zelda.
Oh, nice.
But you can zoom around, like you have a little dash thing, so that's fun.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can get back to it one day.
I actually remember after I had started playing this game because you often face like just mobs of enemies running at you. So like the first time I ever faced like 10 enemies at once. They leave their bodies just lying on the floor after you kill them. So it was just like just slaughter.
It's
all
pretty
over the place.
intense because your character like will walk around and he'll have like blood dripping out. It's like,
That's crazy.
it's crazy.
Yeah, that's based off. I think the main creator of the game, like he's got heart disease or
Oh,
something.
no.
Yeah, and
intense.
so he made this game as like a passion project of his
wow.
or something. So yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
it's emotional.
It's dark.
So
Yeah.
now you have to buy it.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Now I want to support this dude, so I gotta go.
That's awesome. All right. Well, here's what we're here to talk about.
Yep.
Spider-Man PS4
Woo!
just came out. It's awesome. I'm like almost 2/3 of the way through, I think, already. I took the whole day off yesterday. Just
Yeah,
playing
I
it
had
all
to
day.
work. I worked. So
But yeah, it's fun. Definitely, probably the best Spider-Man game ever. 'Cause,
oh yeah.
well, they made it so where he is Spider-Man. Like you are constantly moving, except the stealth mission parts. But you're constantly moving. You're just you are Spider-Man. You're fluid. You can.
It's
I'm
one of
overwhelmed with
the
emotion.
He's like,
Insomniac.
just can't control himself.
Insomniac.
I thought I saw it.
Are you gonna start crying?
It's a great game,
Yeah.
guys. It really.
Yeah.
Insomniac, when they were talking about this game, like they released a thing where one of the first things they wanted to do with this game was get web slinging right because it's
Oh,
Spider-Man.
and they
You want to
did.
really feel like it, and they did.
They
It's
did it.
so like. A lot of people I've watched who talk about this game are like, it's like therapy. You can just like swing through the city, and it's like therapeutic. It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever uninstall this game just because you want a game that you can chill out and just swing through and
Right.
punch bad guys that are stealing cars and all this stuff. It's a lot
I
of fun.
get so sidetracked in this game with all the stuff that
Oh,
goes on.
there's so much stuff. I found all the backpacks already.
I'm
'Cause I
working
love
on
the
it.
little stories that come with it because
Right.
the little
I like the
collectibles.
little Spider-Man 2 throwbacks. Like with the pizza delivery and like
Oh,
the balloon
yeah.
saving and
he's
whatnot.
like, he's like, I thought I could be faster as a pizza delivery guy, but really I just crush him.
yeah.
But story wise, it's really cool because Peter Parker, he's been Spider-Man for 8 years, so he knows what he's doing. He's not like a kid, which is it has good stories like Spider-Man: Homecoming. He's just getting his powers. He's trying to figure out how the best way to use them. But it's cool to also be a Spider-Man who knows what he's doing. Like doesn't
Right.
freak out when you're chasing a helicopter with a wrecking ball attached to it.
yeah.
He knows what he's doing. So that's a lot of fun.
Like, hey, you need to take care of that. I'm working on it.
Yeah, he's got a little detective partner who calls him and criticizes him all the time. They have a good back and forth. This is
Yeah.
Spider-Man. He makes his quips. And,
Spider Cop.
so hopefully we can get a Let's Play up for you guys too, and you can see the opening of the game. And it's a lot of fun. Hopefully, we've been talking about maybe doing a spoiler cast, me and Tyler, when we talk about the main story and all the secret stuff in it. So. But I think that is all we have for this week, unless you guys have anything else maybe caught your eye this week that I missed story-wise or anything.
There is the new Xbox controller that we didn't talk about.
Horrendous.
Microsoft announced that they were going to be releasing a grease-proof Xbox controller for people who like to play their Xbox while eating their KFC
Oh my goodness.
or their
This is like-
pizza.
The worst.
I don't. You see, like, there's like pictures that go around with like the Cheeto encrusted controller. Like, why?
Oh,
Like,
Yeah.
that's,
take 10 minutes, eat your food, and come back to your game. Like, and plus the controller design, all the color, that was gross.
Yeah, the color design.
I hate
oh
it.
yeah,
It's
that was
awful.
awful.
Yeah, it was not a really good. What was it, like blue and? or
It's like
something?
blue, gray, yellow.
It was like an ugly
It's
blue.
weird.
Like it wasn't even a
It's
pretty
like-
blue. It was like a. Like, it's
Disgusting.
It's nasty.
We'll put a picture of it up on
But I
the
guess if you
show
like,
notes.
if you
Yeah.
like eating while playing video games, here you
Go
go.
for
Like,
it.
disgusting. All right. Well, glad you guys could come. Enjoy talking to you guys always every week. The second week. See you guys next week for episode 3. Hopefully a lot of big news things. Hopefully that Nintendo Direct happens.
Yeah.
So see you guys next week.